Toastmaster Anandhi, pause before the pot. Pause before the pot. Toastmaster Anandhi.
Thank you, Clemori. Once there lived a small family, a husband, wife, and their baby. They also had a pet mongoose raised with a great care. One day, the wife went to fetch the water, asked her husband to take care of the baby. After some time, he also stepped out briefly. While the baby was sleeping, a snake entered the house. The mongoose saw the danger, fought with the snake and killed it and saved the baby. When the wife returned, she saw a mongoose at the door with the blood in its mouth. Without thinking a moment, she assumed the worst. In anger, she picked up the pot and killed the mongoose. Then she rushed inside the home. Her baby was sleeping peacefully. Beside the cradle, there was a dead snake. Only then she did realize the truth. The mongoose had saved her child, but it was too late. Because of the quick judgment, lack of patience, she destroyed the creature that protected her baby. Thousands of years ago, the Panchatantra story warned us about the danger of quick judgment. But, but still, today, we make the same mistake again and again. Before judging someone, let us walk a mile in their shoes. Greetings, Toastmasters. Good morning, all. A month before, around 9 p.m., my phone suddenly made a small ting sound. That, that was a message from my club group, WhatsApp group. One of our club member posted in his second runner-up table topics trophy was missing, and he asked everyone to check if someone had taken it by mistake. Immediately, my mind went into investigation mode. In fact, my mind became faster than Google trying to figure out who did it. In my mind, I already had a judgment. I already had judged the unknown person. I thought, don't they value someone else's achievement? Don't they know how special that moment for the winner? In my imagination, I went even further. Maybe the particular person wanted to proudly show the trophy to their family. Maybe their children would be waiting for the parent to come home with their trophy. Here I was blaming, criticizing someone without knowing anything about the situation. In fact, in my mind, I had already conducted the full investigation and even punished the culprit too. Fast forward, next day morning. My daughter was proudly showing my second runner up ISC trophy to her apartment friends. I was smiling at them and started cleaning my Toastmasters bag. Suddenly, I saw something was shining inside my bag. Guess what? Yes, the trophy, the missing trophy that was in my Toastmasters bag. The whole night, I was blaming someone the entire night. That particular irresponsible person was me. During the contest, my daughter had safely kept my second runner-up ISC trophy in her bag. But by mistake, I have picked up the second runner-up table topics trophy just by looking at the second runner-up in the trophy. At that moment, I felt extremely embarrassed. I immediately called the member and apologized. Suddenly, the Panchatantra story came alive in my mind. Just like the wife judged the mongoose without knowing the truth, I too had judged someone without knowing the reality. The difference was, thankfully, in my case, no mongoose had harmed, but only my ego. The lesson was the same. We judge others very quickly. But when it comes to ourselves, we always have reasons, explanations, justifications. We judge others by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. That day, I realized something important. Before judging someone, maybe we should pause and ask ourselves, am I seeing the whole story or just my version of it? A judgment free mind may be impossible. This is a human nature. But what we can do is due diligence, giving irrational judgment. The next time when we feel urged to give the judgment to someone, let's take a moment, let us think twice. Let us take a moment and think twice, and most importantly, let us pause before the pot. Thank you, Tia Modi.
Great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. There isn't a stronger connection between people than storytelling. Stories makes us more alive, more human, more courageous, and more loving. And this was something simply that Toastmaster Anandhi was trying to build that connection through her storytelling ability. So, the Panchatantra storytelling was something which was really amazing, which I would like to mention here. It was a good start to her speech. There was a very good usage of words throughout the speech, Toastmaster Anandi, and of course, the flow of thoughts, the presentation, everything was so amazing. And there was a theme, there was a purpose behind the story that she expressed in her speech today. There was a very, very strong intent of helping us understand that before judging someone, you need to pause, you need to think, and then you need to express yourself. So that's something really very, very important. And I felt that your speech today was truly engaging. While everything went well, I do have a couple of recommendations. It would have been great if there could have been a little more expressions or voice modulation to make it more impactful. Just to give you an example, where you expressed about the fact that you realized that the trophy was lying in your own bag. Maybe you could have shown an expression of, oops, an alarm. Oh, that trophy is still lying. Oh, the trophy is lying in my bag. Oops, I wish I could have informed him earlier or I could have seen this earlier. Something like that could have made it much more impactful. There was a, you know, I also felt that the Panchatantra story that you mentioned could have been a little lessened because the main storyline which you had was a bit low. So the impact which was there was a little missing over there in the main storyline. So probably you could have listened the Panchatantra story in the beginning. And to summarize, I felt you had a flawless speech. You were a good storyteller, good flow, good structure. However, a little more strong storyline could have been much more impactful and could have taken your speech to a different level altogether. So, building that connection, that expression, that emotions, which was the intent of your speech, could have been enhanced a little if you had a little more expressions and voice modulation. So, all the best to you for your next level. Thank you so much. And back to the general evaluator.